What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, today is indeed Wednesday, which means a new summit is now live here at Motorfest. With that, it's going to be Audi, a Motorfest selection. You're going to get yourself the Audi RSQ8, not surprising as it is Audi. You also get yourself a blue rare tire there, so probably not that interesting. For the next summit, though, it is going to be the lovely Porsche 919 Club Sport. Gotta admit, this thing is obviously looking pretty dang dope. With that, it is going to be mainly a hypercar summit here, as you guys can see all three skills, and basically almost every single event besides the lone one, which is obviously the car, so it is in racing. At least that's what I'm thinking anyway. The rest of the events are indeed going to be hyper, which is interesting how it's a hypercar summit with a racing car focus. Shouldn't it be all racing there in regular events? Who knows? But either way, though, the Summit, guys, is going to have a decent mix of events here. It's mainly going to be Street Tier 2 and 1, with a racing event thrown in there again. We're then going to have an Aerobatic skill, also a Street Tier 2 long jump, and a Bullseye after that. Honestly, the Bullseye is going to be very easy. I use the Audi RS7 Sportback because of the long jump. Basically, throw on at least a half set for Scorebreaker, guys. Go into this, follow it. Honestly, very simple to do there. For the long jump is also kind of funny. I ran a half set running something like a score breaker, which is what you want. Yes, for some odd reason, a score breaker is going to help you get more points in a jumping event. Makes sense, right? I got 693 yards. I started off legit, hit my nitrous. 157,000 points, man. Honestly, kind of hilarious. For the final skill, we're then going to have an aerobatic. Once again, guys, all you need is a half score breaker. You don't need a full one. I got 16,000 points, got 157,000 on that. Honestly, very easy to do. Nothing too insane going on there. Besides that, when it does come to the top left event here is going to be vehicle loaned. And I gotta admit, this car is actually going to feel very nice. This is the new Audi that was part of the year pass there. That is now going to be available for everybody. I didn't have the best driving in it. I got 3 minutes and 30 seconds kind of just, driving along in this event, kind of messing around. I got 128,000 points on it. The car handles well, and it looks pretty dang dope. Besides that, the Street Tier 1 Audi event here, I did end up using the RS2 Avant, which honestly, if you have a choice, I feel like the RS2 Avant might be a bit better, but the RS3 is also fairly decent. I just personally enjoy the RS2 Avant more. For this, though, basically keeping your speed up, guys. This event isn't going to be too insanely long. Watch out for the curbs and stuff like that, as they can definitely spin you out. And for this event, though, I did also end up not using pro settings, as I did find this car to be better without them. Besides that, the next one here is going to be a Street Tier 2 event with the RS7 Sportback. And if you are wondering, yes, I did end up using, finally for that matter, some pro settings on this vehicle. They're not going to be crazy good. They're not going to be like the best thing out there, but I did honestly find them to be fairly decent, guys, and I also think it is going to make this car slightly better. And with that being said, this event honestly is going to be fairly easy, but the other one, though, you guys are probably going to be very familiar with this one. Once again, the RS7 Sportback. I am running the same pro settings I did on the other event, guys. This is the event that is going to be half street and half dirt. So do be prepared to probably slide around a bit. You can cut some of the areas in this one, so do keep an eye out for that. That can slightly help your time, but don't go too crazy, because obviously street-tiered vehicles don't handle that good off-road. Who would have thought? The next one, though, is with the Audi RS5 Coupe, and honestly, this event, once again, is fairly straightforward. It will end up being one of the rival events, so it's pretty much a 1v1. The track itself is going to be fairly easy as well, and once again, no pro settings really were needed on this one, as the RS5 seemed to be decent without them. The final event, though, here, guys, is going to be with the RS3 Sportback. I gotta admit, I'm not the biggest fan of this car. It's good. It is decently fun to use, but yeah, I probably wouldn't run this over the RS2 if I had a choice. Kind of like a personal preference type of thing, but again, this event isn't that bad either. And the reason why I do say that is simply down to the fact that this is once again going to be an event we have seen so many other times in other summits. It is going to be the Red Bull track, so you pretty much simply go around the track as fast as you can. And that is basically it on this. Even with no pro settings, it was still pretty dang easy, bro. I gotta admit, I really wish we would actually see a bigger mix-up of events, because I'm kind of tired of seeing the same 3 or 4 events showing up in every single summit. it is honestly a tad ridiculous. Overall, though, guys, this summit's not going to be all that bad. If you are looking to get yourself an amazing blue platinum tire, you are going to be in luck because this is the summit for you. The one you probably are looking for is most likely next week with the Porsche, as I would say many players most likely only get on to get the vehicles, as many of the vanity items are honestly not that great. But if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into this.